Hey YouTube, figured I'd make a quick video on the Ford F-150 Lariat and the difference between the stock Ford floor liners that come with the sport package versus the WeatherTech floor liners, just to show you guys the difference. You guys can kind of see up here, hopefully you can see it on the video, the front floor liners here that came from Ford. Not too bad, it's kind of hard to see. Not too bad, good coverage up on the sides, but when you kind of look down here, you can see there's a little bit of a gap when it comes between the floor liner and the actual carpet there. So get a little bit of a gap there on the front driver's door. Similar issue if we come around here to the back. We open that up and take a look down here. Hopefully the camera will focus, it's a little dark. You can see here again, you got the sort of a gap here, almost a ½ an inch that runs between the door sill there and the floor liner. Other than that, I mean, if we lift this up here, you know, some pretty good coverage. You know, it comes all the way to the back. A little bit of a spot here between the two on the fold flat floor, but you know, gets up into the seats pretty well. They did seem to leave a little bit of a spot here, you know, between the center console there in the front and the bottom. But we'll see how that looks on the when we actually check the WeatherTech after we install those. So back in a minute after we get those installed. So here's kind of a quick comparison of the two floor liners side by side. This is the passenger one. I'll do a couple of shots here for the drivers as well. One thing when you look at it, you can see actually a little bit bigger. The coverage goes up a little higher right here on the top. Hopefully it'll focus there. A little stiffer material. This is a little bit more flexible. You know, you can kind of see it kind of bends a little bit, whereas the floor liners, if you're used to WeatherTech products, are a little stiff. One thing I did notice when I was taking these out on the F-150 here, the stock ones, was they have sort of these, you know, cleats, if you will, that kind of dig into the carpet and hold a little better, versus if you flip the WeatherTech ones over, you know, you can see they're just smooth plastic. This front one came actually with the grommets to, you know, tie into the floor, little clips, if you will. There's none for the passenger side, so we'll see how that does in terms of sliding around in the floor there, because we do take out the I do remove the carpet mats, so they're not sitting in there. In the back, we did get the back one installed already. We can show you guys that real fast when you look at it. So this one does have quite a bit more coverage. You can see here the lips completely covered now. It went a little further back on the back wall here. This is a shot from the passenger side, and then you can see up front, hopefully this will focus, it's a little dark. You can kind of see it goes all the way to the center console. So there's a center console right there, versus you had, you know, maybe 2 inches of gap before. So I don't know about you guys, but with kids, they seem to find a way to make a mess of everything. So you can sort of see here, I'll pull back for a little bit further shot. You can see kind of full coverage in the back there. So I'll get a quick grab here for the driver's side, so that you guys can see what those two look like side by side. Okay, so here's the driver's side. You can see pretty good size difference. You know, actually lay them on top of each other. One part that really jumps out at me is the, you know, if you lay this right on top here, I'll pull back, you know, right there in the corner, especially under the driver's pedal. You might not be able to see it too well because it's black on black, but this is where the standard Ford one stops. And your actual foot sits right here on the gas pedal. On that driver's side, I'll get a shot of that. But you can see almost a, you know, 2, 3, 4 inches all the way around at that top splash area to kind of keep your front carpet clean there. Sorry, pup running in the middle. Get in the shot. So the WeatherTech still has those grommets. This was the Ford one here. You can see they kind of poke through the bottom. But the WeatherTech one actually has them closed off and covered there. So we'll get a shot here, pup in the middle. We'll get a shot real quick of it in the car so that you guys can see the overlap coverage on the door sills. I'll do the front, drivers, passengers, and then obviously the rear all the way around. So here's the front floor mat on the driver's side, obviously. What I wanted to show you guys real quick is it does have these clips, you know, underneath that you can kind of see there, that these will clip right into. So you see sort of the grommet there. Just line them up, they click right down, no big deal. But as you guys can see, you got obviously a bunch more coverage here. So if you remember when we had the standard Ford one, or their floor liner version, it basically stopped right where this kind of trim piece is here on the WeatherTech, versus now you get sort of that whole lip of coverage that drops all the way down. If you come back in here, hopefully you can see that. You can see right underneath the gas pedal, this is where the other Ford stopped, right underneath. So basically when your foot's sitting there, everything underneath your foot was exposed to the carpet, versus now this runs all the way up, you know, and around, almost actually to where the carpet is. If I peel my hand back here, you can actually see the carpet actually stops on the Ford, right where the floor liner is. So pretty good coverage, a lot better than actually my Tacoma when I had the WeatherTech mats. We'll clip this in. So do sort of a full all the way around. You know, there's the door sill lip up underneath the carpet. A little bit of a hump right here, up along the edge. Might have been nicer if they went a little higher there, you know, cover some of that carpet on the side, but not too bad. Hopefully that'll focus. Back up a little bit. You can kind of see it. It's pretty bad. It's kind of dark out here today. If we kind of work our way around here in the back, you can see sort of that lip coverage. It's a little cold out here today. These are kind of, you know, you can see a little more flexible. Those will hopefully settle down here as it heats up. Underneath the seat, oh, it knocked that one all the way down. You can see it gets up underneath the chair there. I'm about 6 feet tall. I sit a little further back, but you know, probably would work for most folks. We got it all the way to the console here, as you can see. Really no gap there. And then it comes back actually underneath this little rail here. If I actually pull it out, you can see it actually goes underneath that back rail, which was a little better than the last one. So that's going over there to the passenger side. And we'll switch over to the passenger side view. So here's the view from the passenger side. Again, same thing pretty much. Get that to focus. You know, so you got, again, that coverage that goes all the way over the door sill. Give you nice coverage for if you got kids in the back. And again, all the way back to the rear floor. So, you know, if you're got a dog or something that you want to throw back there and put a bed down, it basically covers everything that they could get to. You know, tools, if you're transporting something, you just want to slide it in. Should be nice. I will say, you know, with the Ford floor liners are definitely an upgrade from like an all-weather mat. They definitely have a lot better coverage than some standard mat you would buy. But I would say, if you ask me, the WeatherTech ones are a nice investment. I think these were just under $200, or a little over $200. I can put the link in the description there. You can sort of see the coverage all the way around. As I mentioned, this front one on the passenger side does have these little tabs, clips. There's none underneath, so nothing for it to really clip into. It seems pretty solid. I mean, you can move it around a little bit more than maybe I would like. So I may see if I can get some cleat strips or something to put them underneath. But you know, for the most part, I mean, it's in there pretty well with its form fit. But it would be nice maybe if that was a little tighter, or something to hold it down. Maybe something to send them an email about. As you can see, coverage again pretty good. A little bit of carpet there, not much. Again, most of the time it's adults in the front passenger, so still okay. And you can see the hump kind of line in there. So, you know, for my money, I would say it's a good upgrade, good investment to go to the WeatherTech ones. For me, it was all about, you know, this coverage right here. With the other ones having that quarter-inch, half-inch gap, I could just see it now. It would just be solid dirt. And you basically have a brown streak on the carpet there. So having that kind of over the lip right here with that extra little coverage was really what I was hoping for. And I'm glad it worked out that way. So, as you guys know, obviously you can tell I'm not an experienced YouTuber. But hopefully you guys enjoyed the quick little tutorial and kind of what I felt about the Ford floor mats, the floor tray liners that come with the sport package versus the WeatherTech here. So enjoy.
So one thing I didn't realize was when I was cleaning up and throwing things away that they actually do come with cleats. So when I thought I'd have to purchase something to help kind of keep the passenger side from sliding around, actually don't need to do that. So WeatherTech includes everything you need for this product. I've got 2 images here, kind of did it after the fact so you could see what it looks like. One's from above, you can see how big the cleat is, and then one from underneath when it's actually clipped into the little pegs that are there. So take a look. Link for this product is in the description.